You're gonna wanna make these IKEA DIYs for fall. I recently went to IKEA and found so many amazing items. I always love browsing there, and I found some things I thought would be fun to hack and DIY for our fall bedroom. This video is part of my fall DIY and decor challenge. If you're taking part in the challenge today, make sure to add your link to the playlist. I will leave a link for that in the description box below. If you're not taking part, make sure to watch all of the videos in the playlist. I know there's going to be tons of fall inspiration. All right, let's get cozy for fall and do some IKEA DIYs and decorate my bedroom.
The first thing I grabbed were these beachy colored wicker baskets. I think they're a great value at only $8 each Canadian, and I thought the color would look really nice in our master bedroom. I also saw these new plants. They're kind of a trailing sort of eucalyptus. I've never seen these before. They were $10 each, and I grabbed 2 of those. We have this awkward space between our bathroom barn door and our entry door that was blank. I grabbed some of these hanging hooks, and then I grabbed 2 of the wicker baskets and hung them up. Okay, you guys, these were a lot trickier and more annoying than I thought they would be to hang up. I had to use my level, and I had to use some very creative hammering because it was just awkward to hang these up. I used hooks, and I kind of had to, pick a piece of the wicker to hang them on. Also, these baskets are really handmade looking, so they're not exactly rectangular. Both of them are slightly different, so I didn't get them perfectly level, but I think the appeal of these baskets is that they do look one of a kind and rustic, so I ended up relatively happy with how I hung those up on the wall. I also found these brass plant pots from IKEA too, and I put those trailing faux eucalyptus inside. This created a really interesting wall feature that was just really lightweight and something different than artwork. I have artwork on the rest of the walls, and I just wanted something with a little bit of texture but still nice and neutral and calm looking. These were so easy to make, and I think they would look great in a variety of different decor styles. The next thing I grabbed was a down cushion insert from IKEA. You guys know that I love their inserts, and I grabbed this 16 by 26 size, so that more oblong shape. I also purchased this yarn from Michaels. It's the Bernat Big yarn, really, really thick. What I'm gonna do is adhere this yarn right to this inner cushion. I thought it'd be interesting to try something completely unique. So I measured to make sure that the yarn would cover the top of the cushion as well as drape over the sides to create a fringe. I know some of my fellow seamstresses watching right now are going to be upset that I'm not doing any sewing. I do have a lot of sewing tutorials for pillows here on the channel. I'll link them below. But for this one, I'm using this extra strong Gorilla Glue. I've used this before on a lot of my DIYs, and let me tell you, it really does hold quite a lot better than regular glue. I'm placing a strip of the glue across the middle of the pillow and then adhering the yarn, just making sure it's centered over top of my pillow. Just make sure that the yarn strip is close to the previous one so you don't have any white gaps showing. This yarn is extra thick and fluffy, so it's actually really hard to see the cushion insert underneath. So once I finished the first side, I just flipped the cushion over and I did the reverse side exactly the same. What you want to make sure when you're doing this is that you have the same number of yarn strips on one side as the other, because you're going to be tying them together at the end. I used about 24 pieces of yarn for each side. You're also going to want to make sure that you cover every inch of that white fabric, and I'm covering the top section here too. Once the glue was completely dry, I went ahead and tied the fringe together. So I'm tying one piece of yarn from the top of the pillow and one piece from the bottom together. And so that's gonna help the yarn stay on the pillow and also give this pillow a really cute fringed effect on the ends. So do this for both sides, and then if you have to do any trimming to make sure that the fringes are nice and even, you can just kind of squish the pillow down and use some sharp scissors and trim off any excess. And you have a nice fluffy pillow for fall, and I'm really digging this sort of burnt orange gingery color. I'm placing this in the center of our bed in all of the white linens, and I love how it contrasts with the rest of the bedding. I would make sure to hand wash this only and lay it flat to dry, and it makes such a cute decorative cushion. Next up, I found 2 of these plates that match the mugs that I found from IKEA, and I also had these knobs from an old dresser that I DIY'd. This little guy was in the candle section, and again, I'm using my Gorilla Glue glue sticks, gluing the knob to the center of this plate just like this. And then once that's dry, I'm applying some more hot glue to the top of the knob, and then I'm adding that little plate. Once everything is dry, you could use this as is for what I'm using it for, which is going to be a jewelry holder, but I wanted to add a little bit of extra interest to this, so I'm using this paint that I found from Michael's. It's a champagne gold colored acrylic paint, and then I'm using a sponge brush to apply that just to the top edge of that tea light dish on top. This gives it just a little bit of extra shimmer and shine. Now I have this DIY jewelry holder I made from a spoon rack in my room, but then I have kind of this container of all the stuff that doesn't go on there, like watches and earrings and things. So I thought this DIY IKEA hack jewelry tray could work for all of these things that I can't hang up. So I'm putting my watches there, some of my rings, as well as the earrings I used. On this side table here, I'm also putting just some fresh cuttings that I found from our backyard, as well as a little lantern, a faux pumpkin, and a little real white pumpkin. I love how this little DIY ring holder looks. It's really cute, and it adds a little bit of charm to my fall bedroom. I also grabbed a couple of these candles from IKEA and lit them on my side table as well, and I love how they bring a cozy look to the room and they smell so good. Next up, I found this cozy throw from IKEA. You might remember I grabbed the pink one last time I was here for our kitchen, and this time I wanted to grab the off-white one. They're only $20 Canadian, which I think is a great value. They're extra large and they're so soft. I thought it would be fun to add some fall colors to this, so I grabbed this ginger colored burnt orange yarn from Michael's. It's just a polyester yarn, so it matches the fiber content of the yarn in the blanket. Then I'm taking a yarn needle and just threading that yarn through. Now I'm doing what's called a running stitch on the blanket. So I just counted 20 stitches from the edge of the blanket, and I'm inserting the needle from the back to the front and pulling my yarn through. I'm pulling quite a bit of yarn through because I know I'm going to need quite a bit of length to go through across this blanket. You could do whatever pattern you want for your blanket. What I did for mine was I counted about 4 stitches up, put my yarn down in the blanket again, counted 4 stitches, put it up through the blanket, down, up. So I'm doing this running stitch pattern, and I'm just counting the stitches of the original blanket. I'm going for a sort of handmade whimsical look here, so I'm not too worried if I miscount a little bit because I wanted kind of that handcrafted look. The cool thing about this DIY is you could easily pull this yarn out if you decide you don't like it, or you want to change up the color, you want just that plain off-white blanket back again. It's really a low commitment DIY. At the end of my stitch, I'm just making a little loop and pulling the yarn through to secure it with a knot. I'm leaving a little bit of excess yarn so that I can weave it through at the very end to make sure everything is secure until I decide I want to remove it. I would just cut it then. You also want to make sure that the tension is right here, so just kind of tug at your blanket, pull at your blanket, and make sure you have enough yarn so that it's not gathering the blanket. Now I'm continuing on in this way, counting about 20 stitches apart from my rows and doing exactly the same thing. I'm sewing that running stitch with the burnt orange colored yarn. Once I get to the end here, I'm on the very last row, I'm going to make sure everything is tied up nicely. And now I wanted to do a plaid pattern, so I'm flipping my blanket around to the other side, and I'm going to use some gray yarn. I'm counting about 20 stitches from the edge again, 4 stitches up, and I'm creating that running stitch pattern by going in and out of the blanket. You could use the same colored yarn for this plaid pattern, or you could go different like me. It's totally up to you, just use a color combination that you love. The yarn was only $3 Canadian a skein, and I hardly used any yarn at all for this project, so you could make other things for your bedroom to match the blanket too, and you'd still have lots of yarn left over. Don't forget to tie your yarn securely at the beginning and the end of each row. Also make sure to check that tension, that you have enough yarn for that row so that your blanket isn't gathering. Once all your rows are in, you can put the needle back onto the end of each yarn and kind of weave the yarn through to make those ends nice and neat and tidy. And here's how this DIY plaid blanket turned out from this cream colored IKEA blanket. I think it looks so homey and cute, and I love how it looks on our bed. Finally, you guys know I love this basket. I mentioned it in a previous video. It's $35 Canadian, and I was considering painting it, but ultimately I just loved how it looked as is. I'm using this by the DIY bench I made this spring, and I'm just piling some extra blankets and a pillow and a faux pumpkin in there. I think it adds so much texture and warmth to any room, so it's perfect for fall or winter. And here's how our fall bedroom turned out. I'm really liking all of those little burnt orange touches. There's not too much, just enough to give it that warm fall vibe. I also love the faux eucalyptus wall hanging in the baskets and all the texture that the bench and the baskets create.
Thanks so much for watching this video today. I hope you enjoyed these IKEA hacks and my fall bedroom decorating ideas. Let me know down in those comments below which of these IKEA hacks you like the best and what you think of our bedroom this fall. And don't forget to watch all of the other videos in my fall DIY and decor challenge playlist. I can't wait to watch them and get tons of cozy fall decor and DIY inspiration. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more DIY and decor ideas on a budget. I'm gonna leave some more videos that I hope you will love and watch next right up here.